Here we have a diagram which shows a part of a circle with a radius of 6 centimetres. Our job is to find what's known as the arc length, this dimension here. Now if we had a whole circle, that length would be called the circumference. How do we find the circumference of a circle? We use the formula pi times the diameter. So because we haven't got a full circle, our first job is going to be working out what fraction of the circle we do have. And we're going to work out that fraction using the angles. So if it was a full circle, the angle would be 360 degrees, but we've only got an angle of 35 degrees. So 35 over 360 is going to give us the fraction of the circle that we need. And so we just need that fraction of the circumference of the whole circle. The word of in maths means times, so we're going to take that fraction times pi times the diameter. So if our radius is 6, our diameter will be 12. So this will equal, with the help of a calculator, 360 times by pi times by 12. So the arc length here to 2 decimal places is 3.67. So here we have a similar diagram. You'll notice in this instance we already know the arc length. What we don't know is the angle at the centre. So we're going to use what we've just learnt to work backwards. So we found out that finding the arc length meant taking the angle at the centre, putting that over 360 degrees to get our fraction, then multiplying by pi and by the diameter, which in this case will be 9, because pi times the diameter is the whole circumference. So what we know in this circumstance is that all of that must equal 3. So if we want to work out what that missing angle is, we just need to rearrange what we have here. So let's start by getting rid of the 360. X is divided by the 360, so we're going to multiply by it. So we're going to have x times pi times 9 equals 3 times 360. And then we'll get rid of them both together. We've got 9 pi times x, so we'll divide by 9 pi. So that means x will equal 3 times 360 divided by 9 pi. 3 times 360 over 9 pi. Our angle here is 38. I'm going to do it just to the nearest whole one for the angle. So our angle is 38 degrees. In this diagram, we've got the angle, we've got the arc length, but what we don't know is the radius. So again, let's use what we know. So we know that the arc length of 12 can be got by doing the fraction made up of the angle over 360 times by pi times by the diameter. So the diameter in this case is going to be 2x, because that's the radius, remember. We're just now going to rearrange everything so that we can find out what x is, the radius. So we'll times both sides by 360, so I'll have 12 times 360 equals, now I'm going to tidy that up a bit, so 2 42s are 84, so we've got 84 pi times the x. So x will be 12 times 360 divided by 84 pi this time. So let's bring back the calculator. 12 times 360 divided by 84 pi. We found out that the radius of this circle is 16.37 to 2 decimal places.